passengers, this is your captain speaking. Welcome everyone on right wing flight 86A. We are currently cruising at an altitude of 33,000 feet at an airspeed of 400 miles per hour. The weather looks good and we are expecting to land at your destination in time. The cabin crew will be coming around to offer you a nice show. I'll talk to you again before we reach our destination. Until then, sit back, relax, and enjoy the rest of the show.
That's right! Welcome to your traveling guide, The Art of Destination Traveling, a show designed for you to embrace the journey of a lifetime with Emirates Airlines for a comfortable and sophisticated experience and world's best in-flight entertainment. Every Thursday 7 p.m. only on Radio Foorti 88 FM. হ্যালো এভরিওয়ান, আমি আপনাদের সাথে আছি সুরভি ইয়াসমিন আর আপনারা শুনছেন রেডিও ফুর্তি 88 FM থেকে। সো ওয়েলকাম টু আওয়ার ব্র্যান্ড নিউ শো দ্য আর্ট অফ ডেস্টিনেশন ট্রাভেলিং ব্রট ইউ বাই এমিরেটস। ফ্লাই এমিরেটস, ফ্লাই বেটার। সো অলরেডি ইউ গাইজ নো মি অ্যাজ আ ট্রাভেল কন্টেন্ট ক্রিয়েটার। আমার ট্রাভেল করতে অনেক বেশি ভালো লাগে। সেই থেকে আমি যেহেতু ট্রাভেল করতে অনেক বেশি পছন্দ করি, যারা ট্রাভেল করে তারা আসলে কিভাবে ট্রাভেল করে, তারা ট্রাভেলটাকে কিভাবে এনজয় করে, সেই গল্পগুলোও কিন্তু আমার শুনতে বেশ ভালো লাগে। সো আজকে আমাদের এই প্রোগ্রামে দুজন গেস্ট আছেন যাদের সাথে এখন আমি আপনাদেরকে ইন্ট্রোডিউস করিয়ে দিচ্ছি। দিস ইজ আওয়ার ফার্স্ট গেস্ট।
Thanks for having me, Shuravi. It's nice to be here. My name is Kareem Raza, and I work in consultancy for Canadian investors in Bangladesh. Etar jonno I'm always traveling from Toronto to Dhaka back and forth almost every single month.
সো থ্যাংক ইউ সো মাচ। এখন আমি চলে যাচ্ছি আমাদের সেকেন্ড গেস্টের কাছে।
Thank you for inviting me on the show. Hi, this is John. So basically, I work in IT for a corporate, and due to my work nature, since I'm more of a business analyst as well as the IT manager, I have to travel and meet a lot of clients. So mostly my travel destinations are Singapore, Dubai, and London. So that's a small brief about my work.
দ্যাটস গ্রেট। সো আমি প্রথমেই চলে যাচ্ছি আমাদের ফার্স্ট গেস্টের কাছে। সো ভাইয়া, আপনি কবে থেকে ট্রাভেল করা স্টার্ট করেছেন অ্যান্ড আপনাকে কোন জিনিসটা ট্রাভেলের ওপর বেশি অ্যাট্রাক্ট করে?
সো আসলে আমার প্যারেন্টস দুইজনেই এনজিওর লাইনে কাজ করার জন্য ছোটোবেলা থেকে আমি আসলে I've been traveling a lot since I was a young kid. It's not because I wanted to travel, I was forced to travel. And ওইখান থেকে something that became a very dull thing for me, very stressful thing for me, became such an entertainment, enjoyment for me. যখন প্লেনে উঠে যান, when you're like taking off from somewhere and you're landing somewhere, it's the scenes you see in between, the places you go, and the amazing people you meet at the airport, and there's always things to do around. So that made me very fascinated with traveling, and since I work in a line that allows me to travel a lot, it's a win-win for me in any case.
ভাইয়া, আপনার কেন এত ট্রাভেল করতে হয় বা কেন আপনার মানে কিভাবে আপনাকে ট্রাভেলিংটা অ্যাট্রাক্ট করে? সো এটা যদি আপনি আমাদের সাথে শেয়ার করতেন।
Excellent question. So আমি একটু আগে I said earlier I work in consultancy, এর জন্য আমার back and forth অনেক fly করতে হয়. On normal times transatlantic 15 to 16 hour flight is not a very easy thing, but through the process and the flights that I get are absolutely brilliant and beautiful. So it's a walk in the park for me right now. Our সবচেয়ে enticing জিনিস হচ্ছে আমার family, most of my family live in Toronto right now, so it's a bonus for me. So জায়গাটা অনেক আসলে it's very nice. Dhakar hustle and bustle থেকে Toronto is a I would say much more calmer city. It lies on the banks of Lake Ontario, so winter pore when the lakes melt up, skiing season is off, it just turns into bloom. It's very nice. You can go fishing over there, so it's good family bonding time as well, but it's also time for work and to get in touch with my clients and give feedback from what I got in Dhaka city.
So if you share with us যে আপনার টরন্টোর কিছু মেমোরেবল টাইম।
I mean, memorable moment, it's always a constant. My favorite thing to do is go fishing with my dad. খুবই একটা calm environment থাকে, অনেক you see a lot of Bengalis and Indians a lot over there, but that's not a big deal. It seems like Dhaka all over again. But fishing over there with my dad, spending some quality time with my brother as well. It's a good family bonding time, because growing up I used to stay in boarding school a lot, and there was periods of times where I couldn't see my family for like a couple of years. So ekhan theke je I'm grown up now, and I can include family time with my work time. It's very nice and very it's a good experience to have.
Oh, that's great. So এখন আমি চলে যাব আমাদের সেকেন্ড গেস্টের কাছে। সো ভাইয়া, আপনাকে কোন ট্রাভেলিং এর কোন বিষয়টা বেশি অ্যাট্রাক্ট করে, দ্য সেম কোয়েশ্চেন, বা কখন থেকে আপনি আপনার ট্রাভেলিংটা স্টার্ট করেছেন?
So basically, if I have to say that আমার traveling start হয়েছে due to both my mom and dad. They used to work, and it was very hard for us to get quality family time. So whenever like they used to take vacations or like holidays, we used to travel a lot. So from my early days, since I was a child, as far as I can remember, 5-6 বছর থেকে we have been traveling, mostly to Asia, North America, Europe. But if you ask me what attracts me the most would be, every time I get on a plane, I'm very fascinated about how the weather is going to be on the other city. So that's one part. The other part would be that, when you get to travel, you see a lot of cross-cultural, you get the experience of cross-cultural people in the other cities. So that is what I look forward to, mixing up with people, talking to them, and the environment. So that's what we don't get here, and that is something that I look forward to.
Thank you. And now you're listening to Radio Foorti 88 FM. চলছে The Art of Destination Traveling, brought to you by Emirates. Fly Emirates, fly better. আমরা রেডিও থেকে একটা ব্রেক নিলেও কিন্তু ফেসবুকে এখনও আমাদের লাইভটি চলছে। অবশ্যই সেখানে জয়েন করে ফেলুন আর আমাদেরকে কমেন্ট করুন। সো আমরা ফিরে আসছি একটু পরেই। We are on Facebook Live. So guys, already you know I love traveling a lot. So আমার যেটা হয় যে আমি কোথাও ট্রাভেল করতে যাওয়ার আগে যেটা করি, একটা রাউট প্ল্যান করি, কোথায় যাব, কিভাবে যাব, আমার হচ্ছে মিডিয়াম মানে কোনটা ইউজ করব, বা আমি যাওয়ার আগে হচ্ছে বিশাল বড় হচ্ছে একটা রিসার্চ পেপার নিয়ে বসি যে আচ্ছা আমি ওখানে যাওয়ার পরে যেন কোনো হাসল না হয়। সো হোয়াট ডু ইউ থিঙ্ক, জন ভাইয়া, মানে হাউ ডু ইউ ডু দিস?
So basically, jeta hoy, like every time I travel, of course there's a list. I do go for work, but সারাক্ষণ তার কাজ করা হয় না. There are times like when there are a lot of places I did not visit, so আমার একটা ছোট bucket lister মতো থাকে যে maybe this time I'm going to the Shard, maybe this time I'm going to the St. Cathedral's Park, maybe Piccadilly Square or Soho. So there are a lot of lively places. As I said before, যে আমি খুবই লাইভলি মানুষদেরকে পছন্দ করি. Like I do love the culture, exploring the culture, seeing different people, going to restaurants, walking down the streets, and definitely one of the biggest thing that attracts me and that I always do, আমি যে কোনো টাইমে wherever I visit, I make sure I go to any historical places. So লন্ডনে গেলে মোস্টলি আমার like whenever I go, I do plan to visit the British Museum. That's one of my favorites.
সো লন্ডনে ভিজিট করার পরে হোয়াট ডু থিঙ্ক যে আপনাকে কোন জায়গাটা অনেক বেশি অ্যাট্রাক্ট করেছেন, ওয়াই?
If I have to name one place in the world I'm mentioning, I've traveled a lot. So that place would be Soho. Like no matter whenever you travel, if it's a very sunny day, if it's raining, if it's winter, spring, that place is extremely lively. I've never seen a place like Soho in London that is as lively as it can be. You see a lot of people. It's a rush always there. Like whenever you go there, you would feel like, okay, I am somewhere right now. Just the environment around you would feel very lively. So that is one place.
গ্রেট। সো আমার আসলে খুব হাইকিং করতে ভালো লাগে বা ট্রেকিং করতে ভালো লাগে। আমার কাছে মানে মোস্ট ইম্পর্ট্যান্ট ব্যাপার হচ্ছে ডেস্টিনেশনের থেকেও বড় ব্যাপারটা হচ্ছে যে জার্নি, Right. So what do you think যে আপনার কাছে what do you love if I say sea or mountain?
I'm a sea person. So London তো অনেক যাওয়াই হয়, but one of my other uh, favorite places to travel যখনই ইউকে ভিজিট করি, দ্যাট ইজ লাইক ব্রাইটন আমার যাওয়া হয়। ব্রাইটন বিচ ইজ এক্সট্রিমলি বিউটিফুল। The way we see it, maybe in Hollywood movies, it's much more prettier than that. Um, you go there, you don't even find like the sand is like completely white. You see the blue sea. There's a certain degree of uh, cold wind that hits you, the breath of fresh air that hits you. It's a bit sunny as well, but you still feel cold. So yeah, that sensation of having a warm and cool weather and visiting the places, seeing the complete beach. So that is something that I look forward to. So
Oh, that's
I would
nice.
I would say I'm a beach person.
All right. So if I ask কারিম ভাইয়ের কাছে যে যদি সেম কোয়েশ্চেনটাই করি আপনাকে কোন জিনিসটা বেশি অ্যাট্রাক্ট করে সি অর মাউন্টেন?
I would say differently from my friend over here. I would definitely choose the mountains. Growing up, I used to live in the Philippines, and also I spent 5 years in Darjeeling. So, পাহাড়ের ভিতরে থাকতে থাকতে একটা it's become second nature to me. Waking up
Right.
every day and seeing the mountain for like 10-15 years of your life, that leaves a একটা lasting একটা impression মতো থাকে. And so every time I'm in Toronto, I go around Rogue National Park to go hiking and trekking over there because it reminds me of the hills. It's a very beautiful place, especially in fall. সবসময় পুরা গাছপালা সব একদম হলুদ ব্রাউন হয়ে যায় and the leaves are falling down. It's a pretty sight to see. And so there's also a couple of other places that I'm অনেক পছন্দ হয়. Like I like to go see the CN Tower, the Royal Museum of Ontario. তারপরে আপনার you have the art gallery over there. তারপরে Gibraltar Point আছে. So there's a lot of nice places to visit. আসলে Toronto city কিন্তু অনেক বড়. It's almost 1/5 the size of Bangladesh. আমরা ঢাকা শহর যত সাইজ ওদের একটা জাস্ট এরিয়া ডিস্ট্রিক্টটাই অতটুক সাইজ. There's a lot of things to do over there. It's not limited towards just Bangladeshi genre যেটা the common thing is you go to a restaurant and you eat and you hang out with friends, but there's a lot of things on your itinerary that you can look forward to when you're in other countries such as other places such as Toronto. Niagara Falls is like na bole to hoy na. So everybody goes there. It's a brilliant sight to see. You go along with family and friends. You put on your plastic the raincoats. It's beautiful, and everyone. I feel blessed to be able to experience that at quite this young age right now, and I get to experience it over and over again. So I hope I never get bored of that. It's brilliant. I'm very thankful.
Hey guys, we are back and now you're listening 88 FM and চলছে The Art of Destination Traveling brought to you by Emirates. Fly Emirates, fly better. Only on Radio Foorti 88 FM. So, আমি কিছুক্ষণ আগে জন ভাইয়ের কাছে ছিলাম যে যখন আমরা কোথাও ট্রাভেল করতে যাই আমাদের তো অবশ্যই কিছু মানে প্ল্যানস লাগে, ডেস্টিনেশনস, আমরা কোথায় যাচ্ছি, কিভাবে যাচ্ছি। সো সেম কোয়েশ্চেনটা আমি যদি করিম ভাইয়ের কাছে যাই যে হোয়াট ডু ইউ থিঙ্ক যে আপনি জিনিসটাকে কিভাবে করে দেখেন বা প্ল্যান করেন, একদম হোয়াটস ইউর ফার্স্ট স্টেপ, যে একদম ফার্স্ট স্টেপ থেকে আপনি এই জিনিসটা কিভাবে করে স্টার্ট করছেন। সাপোজ ইফ আই সে কেউ যদি বাংলাদেশ থেকে টরন্টোতে যেতে চায়, হ্যাঁ, তখন তাকে আসলে কোন কোন জিনিসগুলো আগে প্রথমেই জানতে হবে বা কোন ফ্লাইট ডু ইউ সাজেস্ট বা ওখানে যাওয়ার পরে কোন কোন জায়গাগুলোতে সে যেতে পারে?
Okay. So সবচেয়ে বড় shock that you get when traveling to a different country is the culture. But আসলে in Toronto, the biggest shock you'll get is the temperature. So my first advice would be for you is to like pack very heavy. The things that যে সব কাপড় চোপড় আপনি মনে করছেন যে will last you through winter, it will not. So ওইটাই, just be very prepared to face the freezing cold. তারপরে there's a lot of other things to consider. এটা তো একটা বড় একটা transatlantic flight. It's around a 16 to 20 hour flight depending on which airlines or which carrier you're using. So the prices also vary from time to time. If you're going around Christmas time, or around Thanksgiving time, the prices of tickets go well over $3 or to $4,000. So my second advice would be for you to like plan early. If you plan early, your tickets would probably fall between $1,000 to $1,500, and the flights will always be transatlantic. So you will be going to Dubai from DXB, or going to go straight to Toronto. So my preferred carrier would be for Emirates, because they have the best planes in fleet, the A350s, long range flights, and then whenever you're traveling first class and business class, the additional benefits, the features that you get from these long flights are actually like very good with good carriers. So my third suggestion would be to spend your money wisely, because flying is not just going from point A to point B. It's an experience itself. The food, the places that like Jawan, if you're going to different countries, airlines would probably try to get your palate started by giving you a food from that area. Like if you're gonna go to the Philippines, for example, they'll probably serve you some Filipino food. If you're gonna go to South Africa or South America, they're gonna give you that cuisine first. So the whole process of going from Dhaka to Canada is actually, it's a experience of its own. So I would ask everyone to like enjoy the flight, to have to know that you're gonna spend a long time on the flight. So be prepared, but there's a lot of in-flight entertainment as well. You get lots of complimentary drinks and food, so it's gonna be an amazing experience altogether. So that is how I make up for the time that I spend on the flights. It's all entertainment and great food for me.
সো হোয়াট ডু থিঙ্ক যে টরন্টোতে কোন কোন প্লেসগুলো একদম মাস্ট ভিজিট করা উচিত?
Must visit is the Royal Museum of Ontario. That's one. Our second, hoche the Art Museum. I mean, I'm a big how would I say, creature of the eye. So I like looking at very beautiful things. So museums and galleries are one of my two go-to places to go to. And you see a lot of history, a lot of art, a lot of artifacts. You learn about the culture, the heritage, and about the indigenous people that lived over there. Like we tend to forget je erokom desh kintu were also inhabited by indigenous people, and then the white people came over. So oder ekta Canada chato kintu there's a lot of other cultures going on there. If you see a lot of cities, the names of cities are not white names. They're actually somewhat Native American names. You will see in Canada a lot. There's a lot of French influence in Canada. That's the second most spoken language over there. So if you know French, that's even better. But actually, the culture there is pretty amazing. We kind of like Bengali or Indian people, actually. So finding food that you are more comfortable with is also not a big problem over there. So, it's a Disneyland for your palate. Oh, and I'll also ask you to go to Legoland. It's a brilliant place to go to.
Guys, now you're listening Radio Foorti 88 FM, and আমরা ছোট্ট একটা বিরতির পর আবার ফেরত আসছি, বাট স্টিল আমরা ফেসবুকে কিন্তু এখনো লাইভে আছি। আপনারা কমেন্ট করে জানাবেন যে what do you think about this show and the ideas. Alright, so now you're listening The Art of Destination Traveling, brought to you by Emirates. Fly Emirates, fly better. ওকে, ফাইন। সো কিছুক্ষণ আগে যখন আমি করিম ভাইয়ের সাথে কথা বলছিলাম, ভাইয়া আমাকে অনেকগুলো বিষয় বললো যে ওখানে আসলে টেম্পারেচার কেমন থাকে, অ্যান্ড ইটস ভেরি কোল্ড। সো ইফ আস্ক ইউ অ্যাবাউট লন্ডন, ওখানে টেম্পারেচার আসলে কেমন থাকে, এবং ওখানের জন্য আসলে ট্রাভেল এসেনশিয়ালসগুলো মানে কোনগুলো ক্যারি করা উচিত?
There are few things I'll agree here with Kareem. Like you do need to check the temperature before you travel. So generally both the destinations we are talking about today, Toronto, London, these are like winter places. But one must thing for London is you get an umbrella. Kokhon brishti hobe, you do not know about it.
Yeah, true that.
Right?
And I already heard
always
যে ওখানে
raining.
টেম্পারেচার অনেক বেশি হাই থাকে।
So it basically depends. Even in summer, you won't get above 22, 23. But as the day goes by, it gets evening. It's the sea is all around England, and that cold wind literally hits you. So usually at night time, if it's winter season, you have -2, -3. Not as cold as how Canada is.
That's summer.
Yeah. So, I would still say for people, Asian people who travel, South Asian people, so we are not used to such cold temperatures. Do stuff your bags, do get warm clothes, windbreakers, mufflers. As I mentioned, one important thing for London is do get an umbrella. You don't know when it rains. Other few essentials would be your gadgets. One thing I always do forget to get my charger, and then like I'm like, okay, now I need to go to a shop, find a charger for myself, get a cable, charge my phone. So that is one thing. These days I have tried to get the same thing in my phone, like reminder day, like whenever I travel. 5-6টা টু ডু লিস্টের মধ্যে আই মেক শিওর চার্জারটা মেনশন করা আছে।
অলরাইট, আমরা তো এখন একটা ডেস্টিনেশনের কথা জানলাম, বাট ইফ আস্ক ইউ অ্যাবাউট দ্য জার্নি আসলে যখন মানে এটা দুজনের জন্য আমি কোয়েশ্চেনটা করছি, বিকজ এই ফ্লাইটগুলো তো আসলে অনেক লং ডিউরেশনের হয়, রাইট? সো যখন আমরা যাই লাইক 10 আওয়ার্স অর 5 আওয়ার্স অর 15 আওয়ার্স, সো হোয়াট ডু মানে যদি আমি করিম ভাইকে কোয়েশ্চেন করি।
আসলে এই জিনিসটা ইটস the journey যে টাইমটা আছে, it all depends on the carrier. If you have a really good carrier, time will fly. Right, so if you're traveling first class, if you're traveling with airlines like Emirates, there will be a lot of things to do, a lot of in-flight entertainment. You get a lot of selection of movies. Your seats are very comfortable. You get great air hostesses and flight attendants. So you're always preoccupied with something or the other to do. And if you're traveling economy, তখন মাঝে মাঝে you won't get the facilities that you might want to. So I would say that when you're traveling long haul flights, you would probably want to skip economy and go up to business class or first class if you can afford it, because it, again, as I said before, it becomes an experience of its own.
Great. So if I ask you the same question, Bhaiya.
So here are a few things that I do agree once again with Kareem. But then I'm going to give you two views. দুইটা view দিব. So since I do travel a lot, so I've traveled both in economy and business class. So firstly, I'll talk about economy class. Basically what happens is, like, when you, as he said, like there are like a lot of in-flight entertainment systems. You can watch movies, listen to songs, podcasts, and whatnot. And the food is great as well. So they do serve the similar food, mostly same, apart from first class, that's quite different. But the experience completely depends from flight to flight. So especially carriers to carriers. If you travel with a good carrier, your experience is going to be a premium one. If you travel with a budget carrier, it's going to be quite different. Talking about business class, you know, the best part about business class is, like, once your travel is done, you have literally no remorse. Like, you are completely fine. It will feel like it's a half an hour journey because the seats are so comfortable. You have no, you know what happens, like, we get tired. We have this motion sickness once we land. So all these things I have never faced in my entire life when I have traveled through business class. And there are few premium carriers. They do have the facilities and all the amenities you get in a business class. Oh yes, one more thing that I have to mention, like every time when I travel business class and I'm flying to London, they give a pair of socks. That's my favorite. I do not miss this amenity. Like অন্যান্য amenities তো থাকে, you get like lip balms, you get you get grooming kits and a lot of stuffs, but socks are my favorite.
Oh.
Like they're really, really, really nice.
So that's great. Thank you so much. Now we are back on the show. And now you're listening Radio Foorti 88 FM. চলছে The Art of Destination, brought to you by Emirates. Emirates, fly better. সো ভাইয়া ইফ আই আস্ক ইউ যে অনেক সময় আমাদের অনেক লং ট্রানজিট থাকে, রাইট? সো লং ট্রানজিটে যেটা হয় যে আমরা অনেক সময় জানি না যে ট্রানজিটের সময় যখন আমরা একটা দেশে আছি তখন আসলে ওইখানে বের হয়ে আসলে অনেকেরই এক্সেসটা থাকে না, রাইট? সো হোয়াট ডু থিঙ্ক ওই সময়টাতে আপনি কী করেন, বা ইফ ইউ হ্যাভ দ্যাট এক্সেস যে ওখানে একটু ঘুরে বেড়ানোর, সো ওই সময়টাতে আপনি কী করেন? অ্যান্ড হোয়াট ডু ইউ প্রেফার, যারা আমাদের অডিয়েন্স আছে বা যারা লিসেনার্স আছে, যে তারা আসলে কী করতে পারে?
So my initial years of traveling, আমি আসলে বুঝতাম না like between a long haul flight and a short haul flight, including long transits. তো day by day আমি যখন বুঝা স্টার্ট করছি, I started taking short transits, and like one of the best places for travel, I would suggest like best careers for travel is Emirates, because they have a very short span of, like, they have way too many flights. I clearly remember the last time I was flying in London, just a couple of months back. So I had only 50 minutes of transit. So literally I got down from the plane, I boarded to another one. It was so seamless. But I'll tell you a story. I'll tell you a story about last time. It was not last time, it was like the first time when I went to Dubai. It was like quite like খুবই coincidentally, I mean, I was not planning to visit Dubai because I was traveling to London. তখন আমাদের হচ্ছে দুবাই অফিস ওপেন হয়নি. So what happened was, due to some emergencies, I had my flight delayed. এখন এত বড় এয়ারপোর্ট, like it's one of the fantastic airports you can visit. And আমার ট্রানজিট অনেক লং ছিল. It was like 15-16 hours.
Oh,
And
it's too long.
yeah, that was quite long. So I was quite bored by that time, and then suddenly I got to know from a friend that I can get an e-visa. And I was like, whoa, wow, really?
Instantly.
Yeah. So what I did was, এখন তো Dubai visa you get it like very quick. So back then that my friend like helped me, and also since I had this UK visa, so it helped me to get the Dubai visa, like UAE visa, quite faster. And literally like after an hour or two, যখন আমি দুবাই ল্যান্ড করলাম, এরপর I get to know the flight was delayed way longer than it was. And then I was like, why not use this opportunity right now? Because আমাদেরকে তো hotels the carrier was providing.
This is a very good idea, right?
So আমি যে জিনিসটা ইনস্ট্যান্টলি করলাম যে, okay, this is an opportunity for me to visit a new city. So yeah, I was quite thrilled by the fact যে let me get on. So আমি হোটেলে চেক ইন না করেই, though we were given hotels, I started roaming around the city. And the first place I went to was the Dubai Mall.
Oh, that's
And
nice.
সারাদিন আমার ওখানেই চলে গেছে. And I once again had to rush back to the hotel, and then from there on, because we had this bus service, because they were going to like pick up all the travelers to the airport, and then we are going to fly. So yeah, that was how coincidentally I did visit the first time in Dubai, and it was quite amazing. The roads are quite beautiful. But then even if you do not get an e-visa, or like if you do not get the opportunity to visit the city, the airport is like way too big. It is going to like even 12-13 hours, you'd feel like it will fly like an instant. Eto places, like eto shops, there are so many gadget studios there. Like you have lot of activities to do. If you love food, there are multiple food stalls. If you love gadgets, there are like a lot of gadget shops there. If you want to do something, there are activity places within the airport. And if you are like if you have lounge access, beautiful lounges. I have the since I was traveling by Emirates, so Emirates lounge I did visit. The food is like amazing. That's all I can say. So basically that's how I plan. And বেশি বড় ট্রানজিট হলে I do try to explore the airports. আর যদি শর্ট ট্রানজিট হয়, দ্যাটস হাউ আই প্ল্যান দিস ডে, শর্ট ট্রানজিট। বাট সব সময় তো আর হয় না, সো লং ট্রানজিট আই ডু ট্রাই অ্যান্ড ভিজিট দি এয়ারপোর্ট, লাইক not only Dubai, it's like Changi in Singapore, there's Heathrow in London. So whenever I land at an airport, I do try to roam around and see দেখি কি places আছে. I love exploring the airports and the facilities are quite nice.
That's great. Thank you so much, Bhaiya. Guys, we are back. Now you are listening Radio Foorti 88 FM, the art of destination traveling, brought to you by Emirates. Fly Emirates, fly better. So, আমরা এখন ব্যাক করব করিম ভাইয়ের কাছে। That same question. What do you do যখন লং ট্রানজিট থাকে?
Actually, like I hate airports, and I really do not like long transits. So the first thing I make sure of is that my transits are very short. And now I'll fly on another day or find some other alternative to do. But right now, airports have become more of a commercial hub than an airport. So you'll find, as my friend over here said, that you'll find a lot of restaurants, a lot of activities to do because people are finally starting to commercialize the free time that other people have. Because I remember back traveling in the 90s, you really didn't have anything to do at the airports. You just sat around and maybe watched some TV. But right now, there's a lot of activities and a lot of entertainment places where you can actually get entertainment from. There's hotels, restaurants, there's lounges, there's bars, there's duty-free shops. So time will actually, if you are going to if you're transiting at a very nice location, talk about like Doha or Dubai or in Singapore, right? You will definitely have your time will definitely fly. But since I do not like airports a lot, I've been through there a lot of times. I actually look for much shorter flights. But I will tell you that my more enjoyable time for me is actually seeing which flight that I'm in, because I like aviation a lot. So the model of the plane, which plane I'm in, like if I'm in a 747, that is a it's a marvel of the aircraft industry. It was back in the 60s that you had a double decker airplane. So we're going to plane OTA is it's a privilege itself. You talk about the 747 and you talk about the Airbus A380. দুইটাই কিন্তু Emirates still flies a lot. Not the 747 anymore, but I frequently use the A350 and the A380. So ওই ফ্লাইটগুলোয় ওঠে, ওই প্লেনগুলো ওঠে is it's an experience of its own. It's beautiful. It's breathtaking. And so actually, like, there's a lot of brilliant aspects towards traveling and flying. That's why the airplane industry or the airline industry has become the most popular method of travel in the world right now because of its safety and of its efficiency and all the amenities and the other features and creature comforts that you get along with it.
So আমি যখন ফ্লাই করি কোথাও, আমার টিকিট বুক করার আগে আই অলওয়েজ চেক দ্য টাইমস, সো দ্যাট এটা যদি একটা সানসেটের টাইম হয়, ইট লুকস সো গুড, একটা গোল্ডেন আওয়ার থাকে। সো কখনো কি এরকম ফিল হয়েছে যে আচ্ছা আমি এখানে ফ্লাই করব একটা লং জার্নি, আমি যেন ওই সানসেটের টাইমটা বা সানরাইজের টাইমটা যেন পাই, সো আই ক্যান সি দ্য বিউটিফুল ভিউজ? কখনো কি এরকম হয়েছে আপনার?
ও আচ্ছা, সো এটা কিন্তু আসলে সবাই ভাবতে পারে that I want to catch the sunrise or the sunset, but that is easier said than done when you are actually flying around, because for example, if you leave Dhaka city at 1 a.m. at night and you're going to Dubai, you're going to reach there at Dubai 1 a.m. at night, because you have to notice the time difference. So catching sunrise and sunset is somewhat very hard to get. It also depends on which side of the airplane you're sitting. If
Yes.
the sunset is on the left and you're sitting on the right side, it really does not work that way.
কখনো টিকিট বুক করার আগে ডিড ইউ চেক দিস যে আচ্ছা আমি এই সাইডে বসবো, এই সাইডে বসবো, আর আমার একদম উইন্ডো সিটটাই চাই?
সো আসলে এই জিনিসটা হচ্ছে with flying it's a bit different, কারণ আপনি যখন একটা রাস্তায় থাকেন, when you're on a road, you are forced to be on that certain path. But when you're flying, the plane moves right and
Right.
left. So knowing that I will see the sunset, it's like a shot in the dark. It rarely ever happens. But on the off chance, if you do get to see it, consider yourself privileged, because finding a seat and finding everything according to time is practically impossible. So these are gifts of the universe that you might get, but it's not something that you can attain yourself. It has to be somewhat given to you. It's a privilege to see that, and when you do experience it, I normally don't take out the phone. I actually try to live the moment rather than capture it. So that is my view on it. That's why you will not see much of these photos on my Instagram or my Facebook page. Not Facebook page, my Facebook profile. But yeah, I try to experience these because it's actually very beautiful. When you're on top of the skies, you see the horizon, you see the sunset. I have experienced it a couple of times, and it was all coincidental. It was not that I tried looking for it. But আসলে খুবই সুন্দর একটা view. So কারোর যদি এটা experience করার মানে মানে privileged থাকে, I would, you should definitely, check it out and enjoy and savor the moment.
গ্রেট সো আমি সেম কোয়েশ্চেনই ভাইয়ার কাছে যাব, তার আগে আমি কারিম ভাইয়াকে একটা কোয়েশ্চেন করতে চাই। হোয়াট ডু থিঙ্ক ইন টরন্টো যে ওখানে একদম পিকচার পারফেক্ট কোনো প্লেস? বিকজ এখন যেটা হয়, আমরা যখন কোথাও যাওয়ার আগেই হচ্ছে আমরা গুগল করি, সার্চ করি যে আসলে মানে কোথায় একদম পিকচার পারফেক্ট পিকচার্স আসবে, রাইট? সো আই নো এটা হচ্ছে ছেলেদের জন্য অনেক বেশি ম্যাটার করে না, বাট
Sure.
এই জিনিসটা হচ্ছে মেয়েদের জন্য অনেক বেশি ম্যাটার করে। অ্যাজ আই নো ইউ হ্যাভ আ ফ্যামিলি, ইউ হ্যাভ ওয়াইফ, সো হোয়াট ডু থিঙ্ক যে এরকম পিকচার পারফেক্ট কোথায় গিয়ে পাবো?
আসলে এটা পার্সপেক্টিভের উপরে থাকে। আপনি যদি ধরেন বাংলাদেশ থেকে কোথাও যান, anywhere would be picture perfect, কারণ আমরা বাংলাদেশে just একটু সুন্দর একটা জায়গা পেলেই একটা ছবি তুলতে শুরু করি। আমার মনে আছে ধানমন্ডির সাথে ওইখানে একটা বিল্ডিং আছে যে পাশে ওয়ালে একটু সবুজ করা, and everybody is lined up to take a picture of a wall with some green stuff on it. But if you take this scene outside the country, everything is so beautiful. There's কোনো ময়লা নাই, কোনো trash নাই. The weather's always nice. There's always green trees everywhere. The air is fresh. ওইখানে আসলে মানুষ গিয়ে ছবি তোলাটাই আমার কাছে মনে হয় যে ভুলে যাওয়া উচিত। You go and you want to experience that. ওইখানে ছবি এমনি তো automatically আসবে, but the whole experience of it, of finding yourself in a totally different country, in a totally much more beautiful country, much more oriented and more organized, ওইটাই একটা experience of its own. So ওইখানে যে কোনো জায়গায় is picture perfect. You can just go up to a sidewalk and take a picture, and it will look nice because everything else around it is nice. ময়লা ফেলানো নাই, ডাস্টবিনের কভার পড়ে আছে ওইরকম কিছু নাই, হকার্স বেকার্স রিক্সা ওইরকম কিছু নাই। এভরিথিং ইজ ভেরি নাইস, ভেরি প্রিটি, ভেরি ক্লিন। সো আমার কাছে মনে হয় যে ওইখানে গিয়ে যে কোনো জায়গায় ছবি তোলার মতো পারফেক্ট। আর অনেক অনেক জায়গা আছে, যেমন বলেছিলাম যে রোগ ন্যাশনাল পার্ক, that is a place that is picture perfect. If you have the opportunity to go there, October, Halloween, to just right now এরকম টাইমে, it's a wallpaper basically. আপনি গুগলে দেখবেন যে ওয়ালপেপার যেরকম আছে ঠিক ওইরকম ছবি আপনি ওইখানে পাবেন। So I would say that it's nice to experience different places and different environments out of the place that we grew up in. So আপনি talk about Canada, we can talk about the Philippines, we can talk about Sri Lanka, talk about South America. Every place has beautiful places to go to and amazing places to take pictures in, and it's not just pictures. I would talk about food. You should এখন কিছু কিছু যেমন Toronto has become such a big melting pot, like New York as well. এখানে এত কালচার, এত মানুষ চলে আসছে. There's so much amazing food to try out. Try out Mexican food, try South American food, try Indian food. So মানে maybe একটু sidetracked হয়ে গেছি, but yeah, that's what I would
No,
say.
it's okay.
It's not all about pictures. It's more about the experience that you're in.
Experiences, right? So, Bhaiya, I will ask you the same question that did you ever plan like I really want to sit এই যে কি বলে উইন্ডো সিটের মানে উইন্ডো সিটে বা হচ্ছে ওখানে বসার পরে আছে মানে আমি আসলে কেমন ভিউটা পাবো ওইটা আসলে ইট ম্যাটার্স সো কখনো এটা এভাবে করে ফিল করেছেন?
I'll ask you this question first. Do you ever do online checking?
ইয়েস
So once you do online checking, there's an option that you get to select your seats.
ইয়েস
Shop carriers rather, a few premium ones do. And the carrier I travel mostly, that is Emirates, it does. So for me, I make sure like whether I'm traveling in if I'm traveling in economy, that matters most because business class is mostly aisle seats hi thake. I make sure that I have an aisle seat because I do not like tinta seat thake. It's a 333 configuration or 343 configuration. Like if it's a big plane, we're talking about like Boeing 777X or Dreamliners, big planes. So দেখা যায় যে if I'm on the window seat and I need to use the lavatory or like go for a walk, so that gets very difficult. Like our passenger traveler, that person might be sleeping or listening to something. So I do not like disturbing people. Rather, if people would be like কেউ যদি window seat থাকে, they want to go out, I would be okay. That's okay with me. But for me, asking other people, I do not like disturbing, as I said before. So every time I travel, I make sure that my seats are preferred. So I do select seats beforehand, and even দেখা যায় যে আমরা মাঝে মাঝে হয় না যে অনলাইনে বুকিং করি অথবা like we talk to a travel agent. So I do instruct them clearly I want a nice seat.
ইয়েস
যদি না থাকে I'm not traveling.
দ্যাটস
That-
ভেরি
that's right.
স্ট্রেঞ্জ কারণ সবাই কিন্তু জানলা সিটের জন্য মারামারি লাগায় দেয় আর এখানে
You know, I used to do this same thing before when I was a kid. The more I grew up, I understood, okay, I think I prefer something else. But like,
দ্যাটস ভেরি ইন্টারেস্টিং I'll try it the next time the aisle
Yeah.
seat কেমন
yeah, do. It's quite nice. Trust me, it's quite nice.
অলরাইট
সো ইয়েস রেডিও থেকে আমরা আরও একবার ছোট্ট একটা বিরতি নিয়ে আসছি কিন্তু ফেসবুকে কিন্তু আমাদের লাইভটা এখনও চলছে সো অবশ্যই ডু কমেন্ট অ্যান্ড নাও ইউ আর লিসনিং রেডিও ফুর্তি 88 FM আর চলছে দ্য আর্ট অফ ডেস্টিনেশন ট্রাভেলিং ব্রট ইউ বাই এমিরেটস ফ্লাই বেটার সো এখন তো আগে থেকে মানে ট্রাভেলার্স অনেক আসলে এটার উপর অনেক বেশি যেটা ইন্টারেস্ট পাচ্ছে বা অনেকে হচ্ছে ট্রাভেল স্টার্ট করছে যেটা আমি একটা সময় ছিল যখন মানে মানুষের কাছে ট্রাভেলটা অনেক লাক্সারি মনে হতো বাট এটা এখন যেটা হয়েছে যে ইটস নিড আমার মনে হয় যে একটা টাইমের পরে ইউ আর ওয়ার্কিং তারপরে হচ্ছে ইউ রিয়েলি ওয়ান্ট টু গো সামওয়্যার রাইট সো যারা নিউ ট্রাভেলার আছে তাদের জন্য হোয়াটস ইউর অ্যাডভাইস?
New traveler. So আমি কিছু destinations এর কথা বলবো. These are very budget friendly and more of a natural beauty places. So one of them is like Nepal. The other one of the most underrated places where people should go, it's not that expensive, is Vietnam.
Yes.
So Vietnam is one of the place I would suggest the upcoming the enthusiastic travelers who wants their upcoming trip abroad do visit Vietnam. Do visit places in Nepal, Indonesia. It's a bit more expensive than Vietnam, I
No,
would
it's
say,
expensive,
but
but
Indonesia is also a good place. Try to see the South Asian countries. Sri Lanka is another one. We're not talking about a neighbor country, India. So travel enthusiast there, or let's say someone who is just starting their travel journey, Southeast Asia মধ্যে there are like beautiful countries. Asia মধ্যে there are beautiful countries. Visit them and then you start moving to places in GCC countries like Middle East, UAE, Qatar, Egypt, and then start from there to Europe, then to North America. That's how I would recommend people, because a travel experience টা every places you go is different, but adaptability বলে একটা কথা আছে. So Southeast Asia, if you visit the countries, the places গুলি visit করলে, you start getting more adaptable to the conditions, and then from there on to Middle East, then you get to have a big difference of weather changes, because it's like extreme hot there. So from there on, then you are already used to, your body is already used to quite a few temperatures. Then you start moving to Europe and then North America. I would say that this is some completely my own perception. So
I think it's very economic too. Like, আপনি যদি কাছে, like if you're, traveling to Southeast Asian countries, you'll fall well within your budget. Like 1 লাখের ভিতরে কিন্তু you can go
Yeah,
South
absolutely,
East Asia,
absolutely.
but if you want to go somewhere a bit far, you have to increase the budget. যেমন Dubai, Middle East ঘুরতে গেলে 1.5 থেকে 2 লাখ রাখতে হবে. If you want to go to somewhere further like Europe, you have to, save up a bit more. If you want to go completely to the American Peninsula, you have to, like save up much more. So like ওইখান থেকে radius-টা আস্তে আস্তে করে বাড়াইতে হবে. That's what you're getting at,
Yeah,
right?
right. So like beginners দের জন্য I would recommend Southeast Asia would be the preferred choice. Moving on to Middle East, Europe, and then North America.
True that. Speaking of South Asia, একটা খুবই underrated country is the Philippines. সবাই কিন্তু I will talk about it because I've been there once, and it's the most beautiful country that I've ever been to. Over 7,000 different islands, and সবচেয়ে ভালো জিনিস, everybody speaks English there. It was a former colony of America, so you'll find a lot of American forts. You'll find a lot of Spanish influences over there, a lot of Spanish cities, cathedrals, and so সবাই যায় থাইল্যান্ডে, সবাই যায় Indonesia, but I think Philippines should be number one on their list because it's a experience completely different on its own, and it's not adulterated by travelers. যেমন থাইল্যান্ডে কিন্তু ভর্তি হয়ে গেছে
Right.
travelers. Like if you talk about now Cox's Bazar, there's everybody in Cox's Bazar. So Philippines is like the Saint Martin, a little bit farther
So
away
it's like
and a bit more
offbeat place,
filtered.
right? From Bangladesh.
হ্যাঁ।
যে এখন যেমন যেটা হচ্ছে যে বাংলাদেশে মানে একটা অফবিট প্লেস যখন এক্সপ্লোর মানে একজন কেউ করে আসে, এরপরে কিন্তু আস্তে আস্তে ওখানে ট্রাভেলার্সরা মানে
হ্যাঁ।
যাওয়ার জন্য স্টার্ট করে,
ওইখানে
right?
কিন্তু অনেক মানুষ যায়. Like
যায়,
a lot of European people will go, a lot of people from America will go. But Bangladeshi মানুষ, I've seen them go very less. So I would encourage them to, like further their horizon of traveling. So Philippines should be also, like on the destination. It's the culture is very different. The food is also very different. It's a must try. There's a lot of volcanoes there. There's a lot of beaches. There's a lot of hills. There's a lot of different things to do. It's an island country of its own. So Amra Jamon, Bangladesh is somewhat of a very landlocked country on 3 ends. So going to a country that is completely an island country with its very unique culture and heritage is something to experience altogether. Karon I think আমরা মাঝে মাঝে travel করতে গিয়ে we think too much about ourselves. আমি কি করব, আমি কি খাবো,
একটা
or আমি
টেনশন
কই
কাজ
যাব.
করে ওখানে যাওয়ার
হ্যাঁ,
আগে, right?
but when you do travel, it should be like, how will that place adapt to me? How will that place treat me? What do ওইখানে কি করার থাকে, right? So stepping out of your boundaries to experience new cuisines and cultures and meet new people is something of a very different experience. So যেটা আপনি maybe Thailand বা Indonesia গিয়ে নাও পেতে পারেন, because they're very tourist oriented. You will not get that homely, or you will not get that very original heart to heart feel over there যেটা you will get into countries that are further away from touristy countries. So ওই ফিল্টারটা থাকে না when you're going to places that are not exactly tourist destinations.
গাইজ উই আর ব্যাক। আপনারা শুনছেন রেডিও ফুর্তি 88 FM, চলছে দ্য আর্ট অফ ডেস্টিনেশন ট্রাভেলিং, ব্রট ইউ বাই এমিরেটস। ফ্লাই এমিরেটস, ফ্লাই বেটার। সো ভাইয়া, already we know that you guys love traveling a lot, but if I ask you যে ডেস্টিনেশন ট্রাভেলিং এর জন্য এরপরে কোথায় যেতে চান? সবসময় তো কাজের জন্য যাওয়া হয়, এরপর ডেস্টিনেশন ট্রাভেলিং এর জন্য কোথায় যেতে চান? ইফ আই আস্ক ইউ জন ভাইয়া।
So if you have to ask me what my next destination would be, the answer is very simple. It's Ibiza, Spain. I exactly know the place because, there are a lot of, as I said before, I'm a sea-loving person. So I do like to see a lot of beaches, go there. So it has always been on my mind this Ibiza তে আমার যাওয়ার অনেক ইচ্ছা ছিল. And then like Spain is a country which has a lot of beautiful beaches. I have this in my bucket list যে আমি at least 5টা beach visit করব আমি যখন স্পেনে যাব. And this would be my first time visiting Spain. I even applied for the visa. Hopefully I should get it soon, and then once I get it, trust me, visa পাওয়ার পরের দিন I would travel. Does not matter. I do have things ready in my mind already. I know the places where I want to go, hotels, transportation, flight bookings, like which route should I take. So everything is already pre-planned. I'm just waiting for the visa to travel to my next destination. So it's Ibiza, Spain.
Oh, that's great. E-visa, right. So, Karim Bhaiya, what do you think about your next destination?
If you're going to talk about my next travel like destination for traveling, it'll be without a doubt Japan. কারণ why not? ছোটবেলা থেকে we've been watching cartoons and we've been watching anime. Everything is all based in Japan. The country is absolutely beautiful. It's the epitome of the human race, I would say, in terms of engineering, in terms of culture. You see, they were completely destroyed after Second World War, but it took them just a couple of years to roll back around and become one, I think, the third or fourth largest economy in the world. You have Studio Ghibli over there. You have Sony Pictures and Entertainment over there. The food, like, just you would go crazy over their cuisine. যে এত fresh করে নিয়ে আসে. They eat a lot of raw fish like sushi and sashimi. আর আমরা বাংলাদেশে oh my god, raw fish. But once you actually go there and experience that, this itself is the holy grail of flavor, and it'll just be a whole circus for your palate. And definitely এখানে অনেক সুন্দর beautiful জায়গা আছে, like the shrines and monasteries in Kyoto. You'd want to see the cherry blossoms right at the bottom of Mount Fuji. You want to take a trip on the bullet train from Osaka to Yokohama. So এখানে আসলে if you go there, it's a country of its own. সবকিছু vending machine এ পাওয়া যায়. You can get fruits from a vending machine. মানুষ কিন্তু এখানে আর you don't see people in stalls anymore. It's everything is automated. Your bathrooms are automated. Your tickets are automated. Your যাই বলেন না কেন, everything is it's a place that you'll find yourself 100 years in the future. ওইরকমই মনে হয় going from Bangladesh. So I would definitely say, Jay, if you want a trip that will be absolutely worthwhile for every single penny, there's no other country that is better than Japan. It has absolutely everything. The people are very friendly. অনেক কিছু করা আছে, অনেক কিছু দেখার আছে. It's not that far away. It's nearby Korea as well. So আর ওইখানে অনেক World War II এর অনেক historical sites মতো দেখা আছে. Like I would definitely want to go to Hiroshima and Nagasaki and see the artifacts or the ruins or the things that they have preserved from that era. I want to see about the cultures, the samurais and the other tribes of Japan, how they're over the years, how they came to be. So yeah, that's where I'd want to go.
থ্যাংক ইউ করিম ভাইয়া অ্যান্ড জন ভাইয়া ফর টাইমিং। আজকের এই শোটা আমাদের এখনই শেষ করতে হচ্ছে। আই নো ইউ হ্যাভ আ লট অফ স্টোরিজ টু টেল। সো ইয়েস, নেক্সট শোতে এরকম আরও গেস্টদের সাথে দেখা হবে, আরও অনেক এক্সপিরিয়েন্সেস শোনা হবে। সো ইয়েস, স্টে টিউন ফর দ্য নেক্সট এপিসোড অ্যান্ড আনটিল দেন আপনারা শুনছিলেন দ্য আর্ট অফ ডেস্টিনেশন ট্রাভেলিং ব্রট ইউ বাই এমিরেটস। ফ্লাই এমিরেটস, ফ্লাই বেটার। Only on Radio Foorti 88 FM. Do Foorti.